king. When you're king of African music, you are the king. Because music is the king of all professions. To register me. They are trying to make the government into a two-party government where they won't be able to register any more parties. They want to make it like a law that the government cannot have more than two parties in the country. The people's minds have gone low. Food. No water, no light, no government. So the people are aging. Atmosphere our government has put in the country. People not having steady minds. But I see a future. I see a future in my own political party. Pan-Africanism is in the minds of everybody now. Subconsciously. Everybody knows they have to be Africans now.
Fela was born in 1938 in Nigeria. His father was a Protestant preacher and a school principal, a severe, rigorous man in the British manner. His mother was the great lady of Nigerian independence, a militant attracted by the communist cause. She even met Mao Zedong. The ransom Kutis were not inhibited by the English settlers. They were also totally indifferent about upholding the old African traditions. They provided young Fela with a typical Western education. In the early 60s, Fela was a student in London. His love then was music, not politics. In his generation, African consciousness would suffer a strange detour through the Black American movement. The whole black world shared the dream of Martin Luther King. A few months later, Kennedy was assassinated.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners, will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood? I have a dream.
In 1969, Fela sails for the United States. He'll stay 10 months. Black power is at its peak. After the disappointment of the various civil rights movements, the Watts riots, the assassination of Martin Luther King. Los Angeles, Fela reads the autobiography of Malcolm X over and over again. He wants to become a hero, a black hero. He writes his first protest songs. Across the ocean, 3,800 miles away from home, Fela discovers Africa. When Fela returns to Nigeria, the Biafra War is raging. It will go on for 2.5 years and leave 1 million dead among the ruins. As wars go, this one is particularly absurd. The division of Africa among the colonialist powers failed to consider ethnic frontiers. The Biafran rebels attempt to secede only to be ruthlessly subdued by federal forces.
Yes, sir. Doctor, my...
Fela's mistrust of new African governments, especially that of Nigeria, is born from this war. It's a mistrust that will soon grow into open war.
You know, there are many dangerous people in Africa. The president of Nigeria is dangerous. Shagari is dangerous. As a person himself, he's weak. But his surroundings, his administration is dangerous. He is not as dynamic to be as dangerous, but his setup is dangerous. Because they all say he's great and everything, but underneath, spoiling the whole continent, you understand? So he's dangerous. You know, he has nothing to offer, he doesn't make big statements as such, but it's in Nigeria they come and do apartheid committee, apartheid this, you know, they're meeting about Namibia in Nigeria, everything Nigeria takes on its head. You see, but this country is a Gestapo country. How can Nigeria be talking about South Africa? You see, South Africa is better than Nigeria. I know so. But look, we are saying whites are mistreating blacks in South Africa. Okay, that is bad. That is racism. They have a reason to do it. Then blacks are mistreating blacks in Nigeria. What's the reason? That's worse. Police beat people on the streets like dogs. They don't, I mean, in South Africa, I mean, they do it, but they know they face public criticisms. So they watch themselves to do it. But in Nigeria, they say Nigeria is against apartheid. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is a good... In America, talks about Nigeria, like Nigeria is the greatest African country. But Nigeria is the worst African country, where the worst things are happening, worse than South Africa.
Lagos. Capital city became so high that the government decided to hold public executions. Thieves were shot once a month on Sunday on the most popular beach in Lagos.
Everybody run, run, run. Everybody scatter, scatter. Some people lost some bread. Someone nearly died. Someone just died. Police, they come, Hammy, they come, Lord.
Them regular trademark.
Them leave sorrow, tears and blood.
Them regular trademark.
Them regular trademark.
Them regular trademark.
We fear to fight for freedom. We fear to fight for liberty. We fear to fight for justice. We fear to fight for happiness. We always get reason to fear. We no one die. We no one wound. We no one quench. We no one go. I get one child. My mama different house. My pa different house. I want build a house. I don't build a house. I no one quench. I want enjoy. I no one go. So policeman go slap your face, you know, go talk. Army man go whip your yash, you go, they look like donkey. Rhodesia, they do them own, our leaders, they have for nothing. South Africa, they do them own. Them live sorrow, tears and blood.
Them regular trademark.
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 Regular trademark.
Them regular
That is why everybody run. Everybody scatter. Some people lost some bed. Someone nearly died. Police they come, army they come. Confusion everywhere.
Women. Because a man goes for many women in the first place. Like in Europe, when a man is married, he goes after, when the wife is sleeping, he goes out and fucks around, man. You should bring the women to the house, man, and live with him. And stop running around the streets. You see, that is what a man is supposed to do. A man is not supposed to run around the streets after women. You see, women should be in his home.
In 1977, Fela married his 27 singers and dancers in one fell swoop, according to the Yoruba ritual. They are now called the Queens.
In the African tradition, you are taught not to be jealous. Christianity is spread all over Africa, we know. It's to exploit the people. All Christians think like white, like European, like English and Americans, and all Muslim people think like Arabs. So they're just diverting the African minds from their roots, that's all, you know. And Africans must know. You see, they must have the original one. And somebody must spread the knowledge of this. And I think I have the knowledge. Music is a spiritual thing. You don't play with music. If you play with music, you will die young. You see, because when the higher forces give you a gift of music, musicianship, it must be well used for the good of humanity. If you use it for your own self by deceiving people or doing this, you will die young. You see, and I've told people this many times. So I'm going to prove them wrong and prove myself right. Because now I'm 44, I'm getting younger. Because I'm doing it right. I can play music for 10 hours. I'm never tired. I'm getting younger because the spiritual life of music that I've led rightly is helping me now.
Sit down, not this time. Too many people they stand now because I don't apologize for those who they stand.
You sit down for ground your leg. Down for ground your leg.
In the African community, there's some special women. They call them Yalaji. It means women who have special powers to see the future, you know, to see front and back. You know, these are the special women. And important people always have them around, you know, in the African home. Like I have my own Yalaji in my house, you know, who advises me what to do.
Who go one take it coffin? Them must take come. Not the bad things.
But the hostilities between Fela and the Nigerian authorities never ceased. In the fall of 1981, following his third European tour, an intense press campaign is launched against him. This time, Fela is charged with assault with a weapon, a crime punishable by death. In December 1981, the army attacks Kalakuta again. The film crew was present on the day of the attack. There was no time to film it, only to take photographs. In the blink of an eye, the army surrounds the house. Soldiers rush in, men capable of anything. A few tear gas bombs make it impossible to breathe. The place has to be evacuated. Then the soldiers go at it with a vengeance. They plunder the house. Their clubs spare neither pregnant women nor children. Fela himself is seriously beaten. The queens are whipped with chains. The entire tribe is dragged away. Once more, Fela finds himself in prison.
I see the evil, the kind of multinational evil they are trying to do. And I ask myself, what is multinational? All Nigerians are uninational. Why is some people multinationals? You see. Then the question arises, what can I do about this? And Mr. M.K. Abiola some time ago went to report to the police on the 27th of August, 1979, that I robbed his wife. The police came to investigate this matter.